Stephen Amell, everybody.
This is a nice, intimate Saturday morning crowd. Good morning.
Good morning. These are people that came early, made it inside the building, they prepared.
I think I've met 80% of the people that are in this audience already.
So welcome, even though I hear you're kind of a local, Stephen Amell. Is that the case?
Yeah, my wife and I bought a spot here in December of 2019. Timing. We bought a spot here that's right on the lake. I don't know if for people that are familiar with Austin, ski shores or the Pennybacker Bridge. It's right by there. So I actually managed to pull off the trifecta yesterday because we didn't really have any food in our spot, just a little boathouse. And so I had our friend Taryn, who was here earlier, she went and picked me up a burger from Ski Shores on Thursday. When I woke up yesterday morning, I heated it up and I had it for breakfast. And then we went over to Ski Shores and I had a burger for lunch. What do you think I had for dinner? I had a burger for dinner too. And some chicken wings.
You switched it up.
Yeah, I'm clearly not working right now, so... yeah, it was really good.
I've
Love
heard
it there.
of a breakfast burrito, but not a breakfast burger. Maybe you're starting a trend.
Yeah, breakfast burger is good. And they do breakfast tacos on the weekend. I'm actually a little jealous that I'm not there at the moment.
Now that I'm starving, thank you.
You're welcome.
So one of the other things we were talking about backstage was we both, you went to the premiere of The Shark is Broken on Broadway, which one of your friends is in. Do you want to talk a little bit about the show?
Yeah, so my friend Colin Donnell is in The Shark is Broken, which is a 90-minute play with no intermission, which is cool, about the making of Jaws. Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Schneider, he plays Roy Schneider, out on a boat just waiting for that stupid mechanical shark to work, which they call it Bruce. They call it Bruce. And it's a great play. So I saw it opening night. I got to support Colin, which was great. And Robert Shaw, who is obviously famous for more than just that movie, but has that amazing speech in Jaws. The play is co-written by his son Ian Shaw, and Ian plays his dad. And Ian looks so much like his dad that it's a little scary. Like it's a little, and I mean this in the nicest way possible because he's extraordinary. His performance, he will be nominated for a Tony Award. I don't know, the only problem is I can't tell if Colin's good in the show.
He's phenomenal.
Oh, he is? Because all I can see is my friend. So he's good?
He's amazing.
Good to know. And the kid who plays Richard Dreyfuss too is
Alex Brightman.
Alex Brightman.
From Beetlejuice fame.
Okay, well there you go. Well, he's extraordinary. Anyway, I'd highly recommend it. The Shark is Broken. 90 minutes, make sure you pee beforehand.
Very important. Yes, that is good life advice as well. So, from one big show to another, last weekend, because we obviously have to talk wrestling, it was All In, right? That was their Wembley Stadium show.
Yeah.
They broke the attendance record for a wrestling event. So I wanted to know, for you, if you could break any record, what record would you want to break?
Oh, man. I want to see the movie of the Eras Tour in theaters more times than any Swiftie.
Okay, that would have to probably be a lot.
I don't know. I don't know. Attendance records are cool. Gosh, I don't know. I want to break a record for the number of extraordinarily delicious yet nutritious lunches a dad has made in one school year. Again, I'm not working.
Burgers, lots of burgers. Wait, also, side note, are you a Swiftie?
Sure. Aren't we all? It's like asking a human being, do you have any hair? Unfortunately, I was supposed to go to the concert with my wife and daughter when she was playing in Los Angeles. I feel like I'm going to end up seeing the Eras Tour somewhere. She's playing 6 shows in Toronto. I might just go so that I can take my cousin. We're all Swifties at this point.
That's fair. I'm excited to see all the friendship bracelets that you collect when you do make it out there. Okay, so even though that we are talking about the finer things in life, like burgers and stuff, do you have any like fitness routines or tips for staying in shape? And I also saw the cold plunge that you did, which is like, that's a whole nother level of mentality.
Well, cold plunges are good. I would suggest for being in shape and stuff like that, I mean, look, go out, walk, run, go be in nature, get some sun, go swimming, clean your house. That counts, by the way. When you go through your like workouts that you can list on your Apple Fitness and you pick the type of workout, you can pick housework. Yeah. Yeah. And I think the biggest thing for being in shape is just make sure that you're not eating something that is that does not agree with your body. I think almost everyone has at least one thing in their diet that they don't realize is causing them, is agitating them in some way, shape, or form. For me, it was dairy. Yeah, I got rid of all of it, which is easier sometimes than other times. Like, there are just certain places that you can go, like, the island of Manhattan might as well just be a bunch of fried cheese. Everywhere you look is cheese, cheese, cheese on everything. And I love cheese.
So are you an oat milk guy? Like, what's your
No,
alternative?
not oat milk. Oh my God, if my wife was here, her head would explode with oat milk. Oat milk is apparently just absolutely awful for you. I think, like, you can do, like, proper coconut milk, macadamia milk, almond milk.
Macadamia sounds so fancy.
Macadamia is good, yeah. Macadamia is good.
So how long can you like be in one of these ice bath things? Because I like dipped my toe in once. It is scary.
So if you actually get it down anywhere below, say, 42 degrees, you really do not need to do more than 5 minutes.
You can do 5 minutes?
Sure, yeah.
That's a record.
I go in 5 minutes and I don't put my arms in for the first 2 minutes, and then I put my arms in but keep my fingers out for a couple of minutes, and then I pull my arms back out, and then I get out. Yeah.
Good for you.
It's best the first thing in the morning.
I'm so wildly impressed by this, because I know how freezing, not for me.
Just
Okay.
gotta do it.
That's fair.
Uh-huh.
Mind over matter, I appreciate that. So obviously you get to do a lot of these conventions, you are a busy man, but when you do have the time, is there any like activities or hobbies that help you like unwind?
Well, I love watching sports on TV. Baseball really helps me unwind because baseball's relaxing. It's really, really nice. Today's kind of like the unofficial, official start of football season. So I can watch it. If it's baseball or basketball or hockey, I tend to have to watch my team or a team that I have a rooting interest in. I would happily sit down and watch a Texas A&M Baylor game, even though I have no rooting interest in either team per se. I'm just more than happy with, like, you know, Texas is playing today, I think. Love football, love watching sports on TV. And if my daughter's in the mood, I love rewatching old movies that I've seen that I can show to her.
Any good ones recently?
I mean, it's stuff like, first time I got to show her, like, Uncle Buck. Yeah, classics, like John Hughes classics, and I showed her, I definitely watched Castaway with her when she was like 2.5 years old. My wife was not happy. I don't know, I like showing her old movies too. Yeah.
Did you ever get into the XFL?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the XFL when it first came out in 2000 or 2001, whichever one it was. I can't, outside of major college football and the NFL, I can't get into football, which is strange because, you know, the Canadian Football League will start playing in June, and you're starved for football at that point. And I try to watch it every once in a while, and it doesn't take.
I feel like I need to do more research on the difference. I think which field is bigger? Is it Canadian?
The Canadian football field is bigger, the end zones are bigger, and there's one less person. The ball is slightly bigger. It's weird.
I cannot comprehend. So you get to visit a lot of cities, and obviously, like you mentioned before, you do have a place here in Austin. But what other places have left a lasting impression on you?
Well, I really do love London. Anytime that I get to go to Boston and New York, Manhattan, just sort of in and of itself, was
All the cheese.
all the cheese. You know, I gave up cheese and I gave up drinking for more or less. And when I gave up drinking, I started having more dairy because it's one of the things that happens. And as we were walking to our hotel in New York, right across from the hotel, there was a spot that just said liquor-infused ice cream. Nice. What are you doing to me? It felt like an attack. My wife says, just go in there and ask for a non-alcoholic, non-dairy thing. And I'm like, you want me to walk into the booze ice cream store and ask for some sorbet with fizzy water? She's like, yeah. And I go, so New York, Boston, Manhattan in particular is just a really, really special place. I was so fortunate to be able to film there back in 2015. Every actor should work in New York at a certain point in time. It recalibrates things for you. London is wonderful. I've really enjoyed Sydney when I've been there. We've been fortunate enough to go to the Maldives a couple of times, and that's not, I guess the capital of the Maldives is Malé, but so the islands that you go to are sort of nondescript, but that place is literally unlike any other place in the world. You're just in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Amsterdam's really something. I don't know if have you been? Amsterdam's really wonderful. It's more than just what you think it is.
The gardens, right?
The gardens, the architecture, the food, the canals. I found out you can swim in the canals, the Amsterdam canals. They used to be dirty, now they're clean. We were taking a tour, like one of those tours, and it was like May or June, so it was warm, but it wasn't that warm. And the guy's like, no, you can swim in the canal. And we're by a bridge, and I go, no, you can't. And he goes, well, I guess we swim then. And I went, right now? And he went, yeah. I went, let's go. And we did, jumped right in. Yeah.
I don't know whether he was pranking you or not, but you did it anyway, so.
Oh, and one more, aside from Austin, which really has left an impression, I love New Orleans. My wife and I had our wedding reception at Preservation Jazz Hall in the French Quarter of New Orleans, and I'm a massive fan.
I feel like I have to go at least one time for Mardi Gras, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yes, you should. You should. Oh, and if you don't want to go for Mardi Gras, you can go for Jazz Fest.
That sounds fun.
If you don't want to go for Jazz Fest, you can go for a Saints game. And if you don't want to go to a Saints game, you can go on like a Wednesday.
I'll fit it in my schedule, yeah. Sounds good. Are you a collector? Do you collect anything? And do you ever have the opportunity to actually walk the floor? Oh, we were talking about your shirt, right? You got this.
Oh, yeah. So this is, what's the company? It's called Roosevelt's?
Yeah, this was the debate, but I think it is Roosevelt's.
Sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that they'll probably have a booth here. They seem to be at most of these cons. They made the shirt. This shirt is actually a licensed Jaws shirt, which I didn't take out of the package until after I went to opening night of The Shark's Broken.
Yeah.
And they wanted you to wear a shirt just like this. I would have been the best dressed guy there. No, what do I collect? Well...
Socks.
I do collect socks. That is correct. Is my mom here? Who said that?
I did.
Hey! Honorary mom for the day?
Yes.
I love my Stance socks. And I say I collect socks because I tend to when I latch onto a pair of jeans, like I've just latched onto this pair, like if you see me throughout the fall, I will only ever be wearing these jeans. Like once I get a pair of jeans or pants or what have you, I rarely change out of them. And so what I do like to change on a daily basis is socks. But I collected comics growing up. I like to collect some keepsakes and stuff like that from travel. But I mean, mostly nowadays, the thing that you collect is the shared album of your kids, you know? I let my daughter drive the jet ski yesterday.
What?
I let my daughter drive a jet ski yesterday. You can put it on speed limit mode. It's so you can only go, because these things nowadays, they go 70 miles an hour. You can set it so that it only goes 25 or 26 or what have you. I was driving the jet ski on Lake Austin right before Memorial Day. And on Memorial Day, the 4th of July weekend, and this weekend, Labor Day weekend, from sundown yesterday till sunup on Tuesday morning, you are not allowed to have a jet ski on the water. or any personal watercraft. So I was driving it the Friday before Memorial Day, and I was at the sort of the bottom of Lake Austin by Hula Hut and the marina and the dam, etc. And I was in a no-wake zone, and so I took off my life jacket so that I didn't get a life jacket tan, because we had been out there for a while. And the second that I take it off, I see the police boat and they're waving me over. And I'm like, shit. So I'm like, hey, I just took it off to be in the slow zone. They're like, yeah, well, oh boy. Stephen? And I'm like, hi, yes, I am Stephen. And they're like, hey, listen, so we went through the jet ski. I had all of the proper safety things. And then as I'm about to leave, they go, hey, would you say it? What? Thing about the city? Oh, you filled the city. And they're like, oh, yeah, awesome. I was out on the jet ski yesterday, and we were coming back from Party Cove, and I had 2 people on the jet ski and 2 people in a tube behind the jet ski. That's also illegal. You have to have room on the jet ski in case the flotation device, and I know this because the same cops pulled me over right underneath the Pennybacker Bridge, and they saw me again. They're like, come on, man, the Fridays before long weekends. And I went, I know, what did I do wrong this time? And they explained it to me, let me off with a warning again, and I had to tell them that they failed the city again.
That's a pretty cool out though, yeah.
Austin PD's really nice. Good people.
They seem to be really on it. Yeah. How's your daughter as a driver? Is it scary for you?
Yeah, she actually did pretty well. The speed limit thing is the real thing. The thing that I told her is that a jet ski is great because if you let off the gas, it'll stop almost right away. So I just said, hey, listen, I'm holding on, everything's good. I didn't want to like hover over her like this. Directed her if we were dealing with boat traffic and whatnot, but the biggest thing is I just said, listen, if you're uncomfortable, even for a second, just let your hand off the accelerator. Don't fear and stuff like that. She did a great job. But if anyone's asking, I did not let her drive. She's only 9. Who would do that?
Wouldn't it be funny if there's like Austin cops were here in this panel right now? Stephen, say the line, Stephen.
It would be something. I don't know if it would be funny though.
All right, well, let's pivot just a little bit. Let's say you are having like a big dinner party and we are all invited because you're just so kind. What are you making for us?
I'm going to make some beer can chicken for you.
Okay.
Yep, beer can chicken. I used to be a better cook, but my wife is such a good cook and likes to cook so much that my skills have atrophied. Our wife tells this story all the time. She was bringing our daughter home from swimming, and our daughter said, what are we having for dinner tonight? And Cass said, well, actually, I'm going out. I'm gonna go meet some friends. She went, oh, well, what am I doing for dinner? And she went, oh, your dad's cooking dinner. And my daughter went, yes. And I'm like, what do you mean, yes? What does that mean? She goes, pasta. So anyway, I knew pasta, I knew beer can chicken. I got a little pellet smoker out here. I like smoking things now. Because you get those, the meat thermometers that you can set the alert on your phone for when it gets to the desired temperature. Takes the guesswork out of it. It's great.
Technology has come so far.
It really has, yeah. That's true. Smoking meat is a bzzz on your phone. It's ready.
So are you into like Texas barbecue?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
What are like your go-to sides? What are like if you don't have those sides, it ain't barbecue.
Oh boy. Well, it used to be mac and cheese, didn't it?
There's vegan cheese.
Yeah, there's vegan cheese. A little like touchless sex. I mean, I don't know, what do I have for the sides if I'm not having mac and cheese? Bread? No, someone said mashed potatoes. I love potatoes. I have a weird thing with mashed potatoes. It's like a sense memory from a kid. It was a texture thing and I gagged. And to this day, I cannot have mashed potatoes. Give me a baked potato, I'll take the stuff up and mash it. But if it's just the mashed potatoes on the plate, I am 2.5 years old again and terrified.
We're getting super personal here today.
Well,
About...
you asked about sides for my meal, and I don't know how much more personal we can get.
Wow, I love it. Okay, so you mentioned that you've been going back and watching old films with your daughter, but was there any maybe cartoons or TV shows that you remember watching growing up that maybe you'd like to revisit?
Oh, I loved watching Inspector Gadget growing up. I really enjoyed Animaniacs. And all the little the subsections in there, like Pinky and the Brain. They were great. The original He-Man cartoon was great, but my God, to go back and watch that stuff. Is cannabis legal in Texas yet at a state level? No. Okay, well, when it is, go back and watch the He-Man cartoons.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like Animaniacs, I wish I remembered the song, but I feel like they taught me so much growing up, like all the countries and capitals.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I just remember there was that one. It's when you go back and watch it, it's a really smart cartoon. There's one thing that you'll go watch where you hear those singers that when something amazing happens, they go oh, like that. And I just remember one of the Animaniacs going, "One day we'll find those singers." That's deep cut humor right there. And I know this is. I mean, there's various stages that you can go back to, but the Simpsons being on Disney Plus, that's a really great thing to watch with our daughter too, because it's 22 minutes, it's bite size, and each episode kind of stands on its own, so to speak. You got your cast of characters, but there's always one storyline that is wrapped up within an episode, so we watch that a lot.
The best people are Simpsons fans.
I would agree.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say that you were given the opportunity, we can give you any type of time machine you want, whether it's a DeLorean or a TARDIS. If you could travel back to anywhere, anytime, where do you want to go?
I just read this book called Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon about Laurel Canyon, which is a spot in Los Angeles that basically gave birth to the hippie movement. If you look at Jim Morrison and Janis Joplin, and it's also where Kubrick filmed the moon landing. No, I'm serious. Sorry, just really quickly. If the moon landing was faked, and if it was filmed by Stanley Kubrick, it was filmed about 10 minutes from where my house is right now. There's an army base built into Laurel Canyon that was for film and television that Jared Leto owns now.
Of course he does.
And the vast majority of it is subterranean. So anyway, but it's a really cool book about some weird scenes inside the canyon about some conspiratorial things, but also the birth of the hippie movement. And I live in Laurel Canyon now. So, I like living in the year that we're in. I do. I'm a big fan of being able to know when my meat is ready because my iPhone buzzes in my pocket. But I think the early 60s in Los Angeles and Laurel Canyon, kind of maybe the early 60s, kind of anywhere within the United States that was kind of a hotbed of peace and love and all that stuff, but for like an hour. Not back.
Because then the meat's ready and you don't
That's
want
exactly right.
Done. So many, yeah. Okay, so you would be more of a, I want to go to Woodstock, Summer of Love 69 rather than Woodstock 99 with Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, no thank you to Woodstock 99. I remember it being shit at the time, just in terms of the mood and the vibe, and then going back and watching that documentary is pretty gnarly.
Absolutely insane. Yeah,
These are my wife's socks, by the way.
Well, they look lovely on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, amazing. How about like a fictional world? Would there be like a fictional world you'd like to explore?
Sure. Yeah. Westeros.
Really? That's a scary one.
Listen, I'm not going to be on the wall. Okay? I'm in King's Landing with Joffrey high-fiving. I'm looking for a good experience. I get to pick. I wouldn't know the difference between being a king and being a peasant out there.
Joffrey though? That's the guy?
We'll be in power together.
Maybe I would have liked him more. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That scene that was great.
I'm there to give him counsel.
That's very
And
kind
then
of
push
you.
him out a window.
Fair enough. Westeros it is.
As opposed to his brother Tommy, who just stepped.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm having so many flashbacks. There you go. Now I need to rewatch the show. Did you watch?
I watched Game of Thrones. I loved it. It was, first of all, I always like endings. Especially, last season, great, good, fantastic. But I always love the finales of things because I go into them with the understanding that they're not going to be perfect, and I also go in with the understanding of, it's nice to wrap things up and it's nice to put a bow on things. I think to that end, I don't know if any shows have ever actually done it better than Ted Lasso, just with how there wasn't a character within the universe of that show that did not get a button at some point in the episode, and they were able to do all of it. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. They were able to do all of it without it feeling forced. Every character's moment happened within the organic structure of the episode. So I thought that was wonderful. When it came to the finale of Game of Thrones, I was at MegaCon, I believe, and we were getting on, and they were putting it out live on the Sunday, worldwide, so there weren't any spoilers. And we were flying from Orlando to London, and then driving to the English countryside, so we had to basically go dark. It was me, our daughter, our nanny Mackenzie, who's not our nanny anymore, but we're still very good friends with, and we were all big Game of Thrones fans, and we all had to, I wasn't worried about me, I was worried about her. She's younger, she's on her phone all the goddamn time. And I was just worried that she was gonna get spoiled. But we made it, and we watched it on a small TV in a little cabin on the English countryside. Yeah, it was good.
Now I'm thinking like the Game of Thrones, Ted Lasso crossover, which Targaryen's the best soccer player.
I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Hannah, who's the woman who owns the team? I'm terrible with names in series and stuff. But the beautiful, tall, blonde woman that owns the team, Rebecca. Rebecca just looks like a Targaryen already.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's it. We'll just have her hop on a dragon and get to work. She should just be in season 2 of House of the Dragon.
It probably should.
She might be.
Okay. Yeah, who knows? We don't know. Okay, so to pivot back to wrestling, because you know I always do, I also want to talk about the wonderful Josh Segarra, and I know he is also, obviously, a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So, let's say, in a scenario that you're given the opportunity, would you rather tag team with Josh or face him in the ring?
What a great question. I want to face him. I want to beat the shit out of him. Yeah, it's the full Arrow Prometheus face-off, actually, but in the wrestling ring. No, I'd want to face him for sure. So we can call a match. We can make each other look good.
So if you guys are given tag team partners, who would you want to tag with, and who do you think he should tag with?
We're gonna go with people that are here today. I'll take Mick Foley, and he can have Kevin Nash.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
The match we all want to see.
The match that no one knew they wanted to see, but everyone does.
Yeah. Well, there's pay-per-view tonight and tomorrow, right? Tonight's like the WWE pay-per-view?
Yeah, tonight's WWE. I don't know if there's one tomorrow.
There is, right? It's
Yeah.
all out.
No, I'm gonna watch all 3 hours of it. My wife doesn't know that yet, but I am.
Come on. Yeah.
Actually, you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably go old school, like I used to do when I grew up, and I'll probably get up early tomorrow morning and watch it.
That sounds like fun. Are any of your kids into the wrestling stuff yet, or?
The clock is ticking on my son.
Okay.
He's ready. He likes to drop elbows already, so he can't walk yet. So yeah, he's gonna be really into it. I can tell. I put on old wrestling all the time in the background when he's having meals and stuff like that. And once he actually starts to figure out what's going on and is able to ask questions, we're just gonna go back to WrestleMania 1 in 1985 and just watch them. Like watch the big pay-per-views just as they happen and pretend like they're happening right now. I don't know. I am so excited.
I love that you said that he drops elbows before he can walk. That's just absolutely brilliant. So let's say outside of your acting career, are there any other like fields of knowledge or so that you're just as passionate about?
Other than acting? Oh, I don't think so. I mean, I love sports, and I like my teams. I like that I'm old enough now that I can get emotionally invested, but I can shake off losses pretty easily. When I was like 10, 12 years old and stuff like that, I would cry like hard when my team would lose. And then I remember even into my like early to mid 20s, there was a team that I got really invested in, they lost, and I was bummed out for like a week. So now, if it happens, like if my team goes all the way to the finals and they lose, it's like, well, all right.
You're evolving.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying.
Growth.
I like to cry in front of my kids.
Oh, no. That's fair. So we have about, I think, we only have 5 minutes left. So, you want to do some Would You Rathers?
Sure.
Okay.
Nice. We were a little late. We got like 7 minutes.
7 minutes left. We have 7 minutes left. Okay. Here we go.
Rather, huh? Okay, let's do it.
So I'm not sure how much of an extremist you are, but let's see. Would you rather go bungee jumping or would you rather go swimming with the sharks?
Bungee jumping. I don't like anything. I don't like being in the water at all. I was in Party Cove yesterday and something bit my nipple. I swear to God, this is true. My wife thinks it was a stupid turtle, like as in like a turtle thought it was trying to bite something else because it bit her on the leg as well. There's photos of me at the aquarium in Atlanta and at the aquarium in Vancouver when my wife signs us up for a stupid immersive water experience, and it's them patting stingrays and it's just me sitting in the corner like this. I'd rather bungee jump in like a spot where you guys like, probably good, than swim in a shark where I'm in a cage.
Now knowing that there's nipple-biting turtles out there, that's terrifying.
My nipple really hurts. If my wife was here, she would confirm this. She's like, you didn't get bit, and I'm like, look at it. She's like,
Noted. Okay. Would you rather have your wrestling entrance music be a Kids Bop song or a show tune?
show tune. Yeah.
We get claps for the show tunes? Love that. Oh, yes. What show tune? What do we think of here?
Everything Was Beautiful at the Ballet from the chorus line. That sounds like a wrestling song, doesn't it?
The chorus line.
Deep cut. I know a chorus line by heart. I knew the movie, the Richard Attenborough film, before I knew the show, and my dad was obsessed with it, so we would play the soundtrack in the car all the time. And yeah, I can still, to this day, if you give me, give me like 5 minutes, and I'm like, whoop, I'm right back into it.
Dance 10 looks 3. Okay. Next panel.
That's the plastic surgery song.
All right. Would you rather have to do a panel after eating a ghost pepper or after getting multiple Novocaine injections?
Ghost pepper. Ghost pepper. This would be entertaining for you guys. Okay, whereas like if I did the Novocaine injections, like sure, I take a drink of water and like spill all down my shirt. That's funny for a second, but watching me sit up here like drink 4 liters of milk and have that affect my stomach even worse than the ghost pepper, yeah, I'd go with that. I don't want to do either. Do I have to do either?
No.
Okay.
Let's bring out the peppers. No, I'm just kidding. Are you good with spicy?
No. I'll eventually, one of these days, I'll be on Hot Ones for something. If and when we're ever allowed to promote anything again, and listen, I will make it. I will struggle. My face. I mean, I've watched like Jenna Ortega was on Hot Ones. Okay, she might be a psychopath. Okay, that's like she just sat there and ate it. She didn't sweat. She looked like she had her makeup done in between every wing. Like, and I don't think she did. I just think that she might be an alien. So the same thing happened. Like Halle Berry sat there, didn't have milk, except Halle Berry was profusely sweating. I would not wear it well. I would be all splotchy red in the face. I'd be sweating profusely. I'd accidentally wipe my eye. Like, it would all be bad. But I wouldn't give up.
I can't wait to see this.
Thank
I'm
you.
very excited for that. Would you rather have the ability to talk to animals or be able to speak every language?
Speak every language. Wait a minute. What do I have to say to a lion? Yeah, I'd say speak every language. Speaking every language would be great, especially because I get to go all over the world, and you know, I'm gonna be in Stockholm in a little bit. I'm gonna be in Brussels in a little bit, and yeah, I'm gonna be in Edinburgh. Okay, Scottish is a different language. I'd love to be able to speak the local languages. Yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Great choice. Okay.
Also, too, for literature, I assume if you can speak, you can read.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Fincher the Sockeye, would you rather always have to wear wet socks or always have to wear toe socks? You can bring back the toe socks.
Toe socks?
What?
What are toe socks?
It's like a sock that like goes around every one of your toes.
Individually? That
Yes.
sounds delightful. So I guess I'll pick that one. Yeah, as opposed to like getting a bunch of weird warts on my feet because I'm wearing wet socks all the time. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That sounds like an invitation for a fungal infection.
All right.
Whereas separating your toes, do they sell those here?
Weekends, Steve Amell some toe socks. Okay. The next convention, I'm bringing you toe socks. Okay. There's two more. Would you rather chug a bottle of maple syrup once a week or eat poutine every day? Cheese-free.
Wow. I can't. Touchless sex. Well, I'm Canadian, so both of those things are pretty Canadian. I'm gonna go with chugging some maple syrup. I basically do, that's basically what I do for pre-workout. Anyway, you ever had pre-workout?
I have.
It's awful. I don't know why I take it. Every time I take it, I'd say this is gonna be the last time.
But a maple syrup one, that could be cool.
Maple syrup, sure. I mean, not like a big crazy one, and also too, like not respectfully, not Aunt Jemima, like proper Canadian, like literally watch it come out of the tree into the bottle, into my mouth.
Okay, done. All right, this is the final one. Are you ready?
Yep.
Would you rather have to come into every single panel that you do by doing the flywheels or going up a salmon ladder?
Oh, going up the salmon ladder.
Yeah.
You're so good at
Yeah, it's not that hard.
it. So you say. I probably couldn't even go up one, what do they call them, rungs? I couldn't know.
Sure you could.
Oh, okay.
I'll teach you.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. So, on that note, any thoughts you want to leave us with before we take a big group picture?
No, I just other than to say, my wife's from Texas and we love spending time here. It's nice that it's breaking to like 91 at night right now.
It's cool, 91.
I love it here. I love Austin, and GalaxyCon's great. So I'm excited that we're doing this show for the first year, and hope to watch it grow over time, and come back here a bunch.
Well, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you. Thanks to the
That-
Austin TV as well. Thank you for the multiple warnings.
We're going to take a big group picture if you guys want to come towards the stage very carefully. We have our photographer. This is Pedro. He'll be with us all weekend. He's phenomenal.
Come on, Farah.
We're walking in. Pedro, you have to let us know when so they can go crazy. Yay! One more time, everybody, Stephen Amell!
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Love the box below there. Thank you.